like Brandon.
I'm James Walsh.
And we're from Ansan Foreign Supporters Club. And we're just going to show you what it's like going to a game in the K-League under the COVID-19 conditions. So this is actually Ansan's first home game of the season where fans are being allowed. It's actually the Line 4 derby between Ansan and Anyang. So what's it been like being away from the stadium for what's been the better part of 8-9 months?
Well, obviously with this being the first home game with such a delay, it's going to be quite an odd feeling, but I'm just pleased to be back personally.
Right, so certainly it's good to be back in the stadium, but what exactly are the conditions going to be like? So in this short video, what we're going to do is we're going to show you what it's like to get into the stadium, and then what it's like actually watching the game under quarantine conditions, because this is what all world football is going to have to start looking at as it moves into getting fans into the stadium. So we're just on the approach up to the Wa Stadium, and obviously it's heavy rain, so that might account for it, but it is basically deserted. So it didn't seem like there were a lot of ticket sales when I was booking tickets online. So what's your opinion? Do you think that the attendance is going to be as usual here? Do you think there's going to be a lot of clamour to come back to the Wa Stadium for locals?
Well, I think with it being 10% of capacity, that's going to obviously affect the numbers, but it is a Line 4 derby, so this is the one fixture that will get fans into the ground, if any, during this corona period.
Well, let's take a look. What's happened is I've used my ticket link message that was sent to my Kakao account, the social media account similar to WhatsApp in Korea, and I've just presented that at the ticket office, and then they've just issued me with tickets as normal. Seems a bit strange to have to go to the ticket office to get the tickets in this sense, but they've confirmed that you cannot actually purchase the tickets directly, and I assume this is all part of Korea's very extensive and efficient track and trace system, which means that if anything goes wrong in the stadium today, with just one positive case who has been to this stadium in the next 2 weeks, then they'll go back, see who bought these tickets online, and then they'll be told to come in for a test. So you've got to book online. So we're in the stadium, we've seen the checks, and obviously the game's going on behind us, so we're going to find our socially distanced seats right now. So it's full time here at the Wa Stadium. Unfortunately, Ansan have gone down in the Line 4 derby to Anyang. But James, what was the atmosphere like? I know it's been heavy rain and stuff, so that's going to have a big effect. But what's the difference between a regular K-League match and this kind of COVID-19 setup we've got here?
Well, certainly the conditions today affected the attendance, but also the fact that you have a restriction on capacity and requirements, etc. for getting into the stadium definitely also had an impact on the general environment for the game. It was a lot quieter than usual, and as a result I think the fans' experience suffers as a consequence of that.
I think, yeah, so the big question is it worth opening up these stadiums in these type of conditions? So if the capacity is going to be cut, is it better just to focus on perhaps the home or some other types of experience, or is this at least a step in the right direction for the average spectator? So at least for the, if you like, the hardcore, to at least get a chance to see their team live. What do you think?
I can understand the tentative steps that the government and powers that be are taking, but personally, I think it's a bit harsh in that away fans are not attending games presently. And I also think that if you opened up attendance to all, as per usual, with temperature checks and track and trace card checks in place, that would be the best way to get people back into the stadiums and get some sort of atmosphere back into K-League again.
So obviously, from a footballing perspective, we of course want to overcome this COVID-19, but for all people in all perspectives, we want to of course move on from this virus. So here's hoping that we can all share experiences and support our local teams sooner rather than later. But for now, this has been our experience of the first COVID-19 restricted live game at Ansan Foreign Stadium.